earliest memory of music is there's this place called Gondavle, which is near Satara.
Okay.
It's a religious place that my father used to take us to. And I was fond of singing, so I don't remember how. Yeah, I was told I was 3, where I could just mumble a few words and tunes. So that is the first memory I have about music. Though there are these symbols that you call tar. They came around my neck. The microphone came down. It was very cold. It was in December. And my father showered me. I was feeling quite cold. And then when I started to sing, everything, all the cold, all the noise, everything just fades away. And I remember I was one with music. And after it was over, because I was a little boy, everyone started to do that. And they started to give me ladu pedhe. Then someone gave me 1 rupee. So it was a beautiful first memory. I think I only realized that I was a pampered kid in India when I actually reached the US. Because I did not know we had to pay the light bills. I did not know you had to wash your clothes. I didn't know you have to cook food and then wash the utensils and then go to school, then do a part-time teaching assistantship, make sure you study, get good grades. So it was quite overwhelming, not to mention get used to the entire system of the West, which I was completely unaware of. So the first year was a struggle, but I would try to sing as and when I could. Every single day I went to sleep, I actually would put my head in earphones and play music when I went to sleep. So music was always there in the depth of my being, whether I was busy or not. I think Katyar Kajat Go Sleep play was kind of like a harbinger for what was going to come, the film that was made. Rahul Deshpande, he actually called me and he said, I'm thinking of doing Katyar Kajat Go Sleep, the musical theater. And I've only casted myself as Khan Sahib, and I wanted you to come and do the role of Sadashiv. It's out of the blue, but since this was the musical that was composed by my Guruji, without flinching for a second, I said yes. And I actually went to India and we rehearsed for 3 months. I'd never, barring those little social gatherings at school where you do those silly little plays, have a line and a half, and you overact, or being a tree somewhere or something like that. Those are the only kind of experiences I had in theater, or the Ganpati festival, Ganesh festivals that you do. Nothing remotely close to professional stage experience. But we, as I said, rehearsed for 3 good months. I got a pulse of acting. My role actually is very close to my personal conquest as a musician. And especially at that time, the story is about Sadashiv, who is removed from his uh, surroundings, and he wants to learn Indian classical music, and then he goes back and finds his teacher and all of that. I was this kid who was in the West, removed from his roots, and then I was going back to India to find myself in music again. So it actually spoke to my heart, and that's the reason I was able to do that character very naturally. So I was essentially supposed to open the treatise on music. Like, oh, Pishwai Dabbu, mi dilela. म्हणजे पंडितजींना माझी आठवण होती and all of that. And just before that, I enter with that treatise and I say, Uma, see what I got. This is the treatise that my Guruji used to use. Now I can learn. When I was walking and I kept it, the coin actually dropped off and it started to tumble and go across on the other side of the stage. And then right after that, we had a Ragamala sequence, like a garland of 7, 8 different songs. And then we had this blocking that we were supposed to do. I sing with Uma and Zarina on my side. It's kind of like they are helping me prep for my music. So I look at one, I sing with her. I look at other, we sing, and then I do something on my own. We do something all of us together. And we were supposed to, you go sit here, they will be here, she sits here, you stand here, and all of that. But because I had lost this coin, I actually disrupted the whole thing. I started walking after. And Uma and Zarina, they're like, why is he changing his thing? And I kept on going, kept on going. So the in the end, ta-na-na, dir-dir-ta-no, ta-na-na-na, dir-na, ta-na-na, dir-dir-ta-no, ta-na-na, dir-dir-ta-no, ta-na-na, dir-dir-ta-no, ta-na, dir-dir. And then I got down and picked up, held it in my hand. So that's a funny thing that happened then. See, every grain you consume doesn't leave a mark on your body, but is a part of you nevertheless, right? Everything you have ever eaten is a part of you. Everything that you experience is a part of you. Very similarly, I don't think, I mean, I did not put the education to a professional use like most people would conventionally do. But I would like to believe that the algorithmic logic of an engineering mind to sort out things, be able to present a topic, to be able to communicate, are all tools that I think I use every single day as a musician. So in fact, I was able to leverage my engineering and masters that I did in the Western music, how to communicate in a slightly academic environment. That helped me design my TEDx talks that I've done before, or just to have a dialogue with people at large, not be intimidated by different cultures or people from the different strata. That is something I think my education afforded me and helped me groom myself with. I'll tell you. Mm, Are you in a typical Indian household?
Yeah.
What do you eat every day?
Poi bhaji.
Puri bhajis. Do you wear Indian clothes for Indian gatherings and all of that?
Yeah.
So then it is something that we are. And why not embrace, understand, and wear it as a badge with complete pride instead of trying to get lost in the society? I understand, I have spent 22 years in the Bay Area now. Of course, the life is significantly different, but your go-to places are the most intimate and personal places that you have, right? And I think Indian classical becomes a very natural thing. It is kind of, to me, holding on to the identity of who you are. The reason you speak very good Marathi, it is your way of communicating with your grandparents, maybe your cousins and your kakas and masis back in India, right? They might not necessarily understand your British accent, but I'm so glad that you're able to do that. It affords you a different kind of access. So that is what Indian classical music at the core affords you. But also, Indian classical music is such an abstract form that it kind of lends itself in many different collaborations. If you were to do, I have a lot of students that do a cappella singing, the solos that they do in a cappella singing, they have such a strong, uh, solid classical training that they are able to take very nice solos. Most of my kids, they are winning nationwide competitions in a cappella. That is something they are able to do because of their training in Indian classical music. Expect to be surprised as I am. Okay. So obviously there will be Katyar songs. Obviously there will be abhangs. And because I am a representative of classical music, I always open every act with classical music. But I have 6 member team that is actually flying out either today or tomorrow and arrive. So I'll have an elaborate ensemble of musicians. So prepare a list of songs you want to hear. Prepare to sing, because I make people sing in all my concerts. And I want London and Manchester to sing with me also. Gavi hagano maja sange suravariha जीव तरंगे तुमच्या परी, माझ्या सुरातून उसळे प्रेम तराणे, उसळे प्रेम तराणे, माझे जीवन गाणे.